In the ever-shifting arena of global politics, where power and influence often seem to tip the scales, a modern-day David now stands before a formidable Goliath. But this isn't a battle fought with swords or slingshots. Instead, it's a contest waged with history, diplomacy, and the weight of international law. The unlikely weapon? Not a stone, but a centuries-old map. Fragile, yellowed by time, yet powerful enough to challenge the ambitions of a superpower. The battleground is the South China Sea, a vast and strategic waterway that has been a crossroads of trade, culture, and conflict for centuries. Rich in natural resources, teeming with marine life, and vital to global commerce, these waters are now at the heart of a high-stakes geopolitical drama. At stake is far more than just territory. It's about sovereignty, national identity, and the very rules that govern the world's oceans. The outcome could redefine borders, reshape alliances, and set precedents for international law that will echo far beyond these shores. The Philippines and China are locked in a complex legal and historical struggle, one that pits the hopes and livelihoods of ordinary people against the ambitions of nations. This is a confrontation that could reshape not only Southeast Asia, but the entire landscape of global trade and security. The central question remains: can a 500-year-old map, preserved through centuries of change, truly challenge the might of a modern superpower? Could this fragile artifact alter the course of history and tip the balance in favor of the underdog? This is more than a simple territorial dispute. It's a test of law versus power, of historical truth versus military might. It's a story of resilience, of nations standing up for their rights, and of the world's gaze fixed on a courtroom where history and destiny collide. As the world watches with bated breath, the outcome of this battle could set a precedent that will resonate for generations to come, shaping the future of international relations and the fate of millions. Join us as we unravel the fascinating story behind the map that could change everything, a tale of courage, conviction, and the enduring power of history in the face of overwhelming odds. To truly understand the roots of today's conflict in the South China Sea, we must journey back through centuries of history. The story is not just about modern politics or recent discoveries. It's a tale woven through time, shaped by explorers, traders, and empires who all saw opportunity in these waters. For hundreds of years, the South China Sea has served as a vital crossroads for global trade, a melting pot where cultures met, exchanged goods, and sometimes clashed. Ancient trading vessels once navigated these same routes that are now crowded with massive cargo ships, carrying everything from oil to electronics. The sea's importance has only grown, with over a third of global shipping passing through its narrow straits each year. Its strategic location made it a coveted prize for powerful empires. Chinese dynasties, European colonizers, and regional kingdoms all sought to control its islands and waterways. For local economies, the sea was a lifeline, providing fish, salt, and access to distant markets. In the 20th century, as colonial powers withdrew and new nations emerged, the competition intensified. Countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and China began staking claims to islands and reefs, claims that were further inflamed by the discovery of vast oil and gas reserves beneath the seabed. The promise of energy wealth added a new layer of urgency and rivalry. In an effort to bring order to the chaos, the United Nations established the Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, in 1982. This landmark treaty granted coastal states special rights to resources within 200 nautical miles of their shores, creating exclusive economic zones, or EEZs. The hope was to clarify boundaries and reduce conflict. However, China's sweeping historical claim, marked by its controversial 9-dash line, directly clashed with these modern legal boundaries. China argues that its rights stretch far beyond what UNCLOS allows, citing centuries-old maps and records. This fundamental disagreement has become the heart of the dispute. As a result, tensions have simmered for decades. Naval standoffs, diplomatic deadlocks, and regional summits have all failed to resolve the issue. The South China Sea remains a flashpoint, with each side unwilling to back down. This tangled and often turbulent history set the stage for a dramatic turning point: the Philippines' bold legal challenge at the Permanent Court of Arbitration, a move that would test international law and reshape the region's future. China's claim centers on the 10-dash line, a sweeping U-shaped boundary first drawn in 1947. This line cuts through the exclusive economic zones of several Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines. China asserts ancient rights, but the claim's legal basis is murky. In recent years, China has built artificial islands and deployed a powerful coast guard to enforce its claim. Most of the world rejects the 10-dash line, citing UNCLOS, which China ratified in 1996. UNCLOS bases maritime rights on land features, not vague historical lines. China's recent map updates and military moves have only heightened tensions. The Philippines, facing a stalemate, turns to history for leverage. Enter a map from the 18th century. The Murillo-Villard map, created in 1734, is the Philippines' star witness. Crafted in Manila, it's hailed as the mother of all Philippine maps. Crucially, it depicts Scarborough Shoal, labeled Panacot, as part of the Philippines, not China. The map shows the South China Sea as a shared space, not a Chinese lake. Its wide circulation in Europe suggests international recognition of Philippine territory at the time. Acquired at auction and donated to the government, the map is now a symbol of national identity and legal evidence. This centuries-old artifact is poised to challenge China's narrative on the world stage. In 2013, the Philippines took a bold step, bringing China to international arbitration under UNCLOS. The 2016 tribunal ruling was a landmark victory, rejecting China's historic rights within the 9-dash line. China dismissed the ruling, and enforcement proved elusive. Recent years have seen Manila reassert its legal win, especially as Chinese pressure mounts. In 2025, the Philippines submitted new evidence, including the Murillo-Villard map, to the International Court of Justice. The goal to dismantle not just the legal, but also the historical basis of China's expanded 10-dash line. This is a direct challenge to China's narrative, both at home and abroad. The stakes have never been higher. The Philippines' submission of the Murillo-Villard map to the ICJ is a masterstroke. An ICJ advisory opinion, while not binding, carries immense global weight. At a press conference, Philippine officials declared the map a voice from history, asserting truth over power. The map serves as evidence that Scarborough Shoal was recognized as Philippine territory in the 18th century. It directly counters China's claim of exclusive ancient sovereignty. China has dismissed the map as irrelevant, calling it a political stunt. The world now watches as two narratives, one ancient, one modern, collide in the court of global opinion. The legal and diplomatic battle is set. When it comes to international disputes, evidence can take many forms. Legal experts agree, the Murillo-Villard map isn't a silver bullet that instantly resolves the South China Sea conflict, but it stands as a remarkably powerful piece of evidence in the Philippines' legal arsenal. The map, created in 1734, is often called the mother of all Philippine maps, for a reason. It's detailed, meticulously drawn, and predates many modern claims in the region. Dr. J. Batang Bakal, a leading maritime law expert, notes that the map strikes at the very heart of China's historical narrative. By showing Philippine territory and maritime features long before China's modern assertions, it bolsters the Philippines' case, not just in the eyes of the law, but also in the court of public opinion. The map's existence challenges the idea that China's claims are rooted in unbroken history. Historian Dr. Eleanor Hayes highlights the map's Enlightenment-era accuracy, noting that it was created using the best scientific knowledge of its time. Its depiction of Scarborough Shoal as part of the Philippines is clear and uncontested in the historical record. This level of detail and precision makes the map a unique artifact, one that stands out among centuries of cartographic evidence. This directly undermines China's claim of long-standing, uninterrupted sovereignty over the disputed waters. The map's age and authority make it difficult for China to simply dismiss it as irrelevant or inaccurate. Yet, legal scholars caution that international courts don't decide cases based on maps alone. Judges weigh maps alongside a wide range of evidence, including records of actual control, administration, and activity in the region. Maps are persuasive, but they are only one piece of a much larger puzzle. China, for its part, will argue that its presence in the region spans centuries, pointing to its own historical maps, records of fishing activity, and evidence of navigation and trade. The legal battle is as much about proving continuous and effective control as it is about historical documentation. Still, the Murillo-Villard map's greatest strength may be its symbolism. It transforms a complex legal argument into a compelling story, one that resonates with judges, diplomats, and ordinary citizens alike. The map is more than just a document, it's a symbol of national identity and historical truth. This symbolic power rallies support at home and abroad, making it harder for China to dismiss the Philippines' claims outright. The map has become a rallying point for Filipinos, a source of pride, and a tool for international advocacy. In the end, the map's impact may be as much about perception as it is about legal precedent. It shapes how the world views the dispute, influencing media coverage, diplomatic negotiations, and public sentiment across the globe. The Murillo-Velarde map speaks a universal language, the language of history and geography. It reminds us that borders are not just lines on paper, but stories that connect people, places, and the past to the present. The case's impact ripples far beyond the courtroom. The Philippines' legal push has emboldened other Southeast Asian claimants, fostering new regional unity. Over $3 trillion in trade passes through the South China Sea each year. Any conflict threatens global supply chains. For local economies, the stakes are food security, energy, and livelihoods. A favorable ruling could unlock vast resources for the Philippines and its neighbors. The dispute has fueled patriotism in the Philippines and nationalism in China, making compromise harder. The world's major powers see this as a test of the rules-based order. A Philippine victory would affirm that international law, not might, governs the seas. The outcome could set a precedent for global maritime disputes. The South China Sea dispute has become a battle of stories, ancient map versus modern might. The Murillo-Velarde map has shifted the debate, making history a central player in the legal fight. The ICJ's decision, or even its deliberation, will have lasting consequences for international law and regional stability. The principles at stake, sovereignty, law, and truth, affect us all. This ancient map reminds us that history shapes our present and future. The world is watching as the verdict of history unfolds. The future of the seas may depend on what we learn from the past.